My character's name is Kate Moretti, and she's a very, very ambitious FBI agent. And she is ambitious to the point of getting herself in trouble often. She will really go to any lengths to solve a case because she really wants to catch the bad guy and get ahead in her career, frankly. Someone from Kate's past is most definitely back. Her soon-to-be ex-husband, meaning they separated a while ago, even before season 1. But the divorce was not yet finalized, and he's shown up back in Chicago, back in her life, under the guise of saying that he was just transferred there for a different job, but really he's trying to get Kate back. So she totally hates him and thinks that he's crazy and awful, but he's going to do his best to change her mind. Oh, Kate's mad. She's real mad. I felt so bad for the actor Scott Wolf, who plays Donnie Ryan, coming into such a snake pit of hate for him and of his character, because people are rooting for Daniel Pierce, and I think they want Kate to be happy. They might even want Kate to be with Daniel. I don't know. And here's this guy who's going to come in and really try to ruin everything. But there's a lot more to Donnie than what's on the surface. So let me see what's ahead of season 2. I can't spoil you guys all the way into season 3. I'll get in so much trouble. But let me think. Really, emotionally, what's in store for her is, finding out that there is a lot more to Donnie than what we thought. And especially toward the end of season 2, she really gets herself in way over her head on a case. She goes way too far. Her job is very, very much in danger, and let's just say there's a murder. So I can't say too much, but a whole lot happens for my character at the end of the season. Really big finale closeout. It's so much fun because most of my job is, let's be honest, the questioning of suspects, saying, Daniel, what are you doing? Please don't be so crazy. And, and grilling people in the interrogation room, so that I get to play the relationship angles of her life is really a gift. There's some really fun stuff in the first episode of episode 2 that's airing on Thursday the 13th. I think it's Thursday. Ooh, I can't remember. Where Daniel meets the woman who inspires his vision of Natalie, who's his imaginary friend, if you will. So Kelly Rowan, who's a great actress in person, gets to play both the real-life version of herself and her hallucinated self, and she has all these great scenes where she gets to sort of have both sides of Eric's ear, and he gets to really sort of freak out, sort of trying to figure out what's real. So I love those scenes. What's the most unique case coming up? It's hard for me to keep focused on the cases years after they happened.
So many.
Yeah, there's so many. There's a crazy one where this woman believes that her husband is an alien. That's pretty out there. There's one where Eric, his character rather, hears that they believe that his disease could be treated in some way, and so he hallucinates a well version of himself, who he doesn't really like either. That's pretty interesting. Well, I think what especially makes the show so unique is its focus on, psychology and learning something about the human mind and learning something about human behavior. And that's something that's always fascinated me, and I think that's what draws a lot of people to the show, is that they're interested in what makes people tick and what can go sideways in the brain. And and they like seeing somebody who's an underdog like Daniel Pierce beat the odds and make a really big difference in this life and have a successful, productive life in spite of his illness. Eric's great to work with. He is very silly for a role that's very heavy. He doesn't bring any of that heaviness to work with him. I guarantee you he doesn't take it home. He always shows up singing whatever song he heard on the Broadway channel coming to work in the morning. he's just a joy. Everyone loves working with him, and he's a real pro. And whoever I go to work with next is going to have a lot to live up to. Why should they keep watching? Well, let's see. I think the introduction of Scott Wolf's character is really interesting, because if you like things the way that they are now, I think that's great. But adding Scott to the mix really adds a richer dynamic to all of the characters, because you get to know all of them better. I read somewhere that you should never write a play that's only for 2 people. It's not interesting. You should always have 3 for conflict. And I think that this show really is a good example of that. So they should tune in for that. And if nothing else, they get to feel, for the most part, probably pretty good about their sanity. So there's that.